dangerously close to elimination himself. This could be his final college game. He said he'll make the decision about whether to go to the NBA or when the season is over.
And very similar games for these two great big men, Mourning and O'Neal, carrying their teams. The teams, I think, unconscionably allowing their big key players to carry too much of the load. Everybody has to play, and it's the coach's responsibility to get guys to surround O'Neal, who can fill it up from the perimeter to open up the game inside for him.
Indiana with a 9-point lead under 2 minutes to play, and Anderson fouls Bailey in the backcourt.
Number 5, Justin Anderson, first personal, team foul 8 on LSU. David Bailey shooting 1-1 again.
Bailey makes the first. Indiana 16 of 17 from the line. Damon was a bit of a prophet yesterday himself when he said Indiana needed to be more patient on offense, set better screens. That would create jump shots that were open, and they could score, and they've done that nicely.
One player in particular who's done that beautifully has been Matt Nover. Lots of back screens on O'Neal, freeing up Cheney, Henderson. Wonderful game, Matt Nover.
Indiana with the ball, an 11-point lead. They are eyeing a rematch in the tournament with Florida State. They knocked out the Seminoles in the second round last year in Louisville. Holding the call against Williamson. He has fouled out with 1:13 to play. 11 points in this one for Williamson. 41 points in the 2 games in the tournament for Williamson.
You talked, Sean, about the necessity for someone on LSU other than O'Neal to have a big game. You really need that when you have a dominant big man. The floor has to be spread. The first game of this tournament, it was Mo Williamson. Big night offensively. Tonight, no one other than O'Neal.
You saw the numbers for Shaquille. Certainly, he has done all that he can do. You think he should return to college basketball?
Most definitely.
Foul on the rebound. Anderson went over the back of Shaquille O'Neal.
Dale Brown said yesterday, let's not take this young man's youth away from him. He has a tremendous future ahead of him in this wonderful game of basketball. One more year of college basketball will help him develop emotionally, psychologically. And hey, let's face it, college is fun. College basketball is great.
I would think Shaquille will be back, since he has said that money doesn't mean anything to him. He said you can't miss what you've never had. And if that's the case, as you say, why not stay in college, continue to hone your skills? And there might be a slightly empty feeling in terms of accomplishment here at the college level. Although he has been a dominant player individually, his team, in the scope of things, has not accomplished a lot. 1 minute and 11 seconds to play here in Boise. We're here at Boise State Pavilion in Boise, Idaho, hosting NCAA tournament action for the 3rd time, and the tournament returns to this building in 1995. We commend all of the people here in Boise. They've done a wonderful job this week in every facet of hosting the NCAA tournament. Bob Knight and the Hoosiers with a 10-point lead, and Clarence Caesar fouls out.
You're so right in that the people of Boise did a great job. don't overlook the great job that Bob Knight did in today's game. This team, Indiana, was, I think, psychologically decimated at the start of the game when O'Neal was dominating, blocking shots, dunking the basketball. He brought them back. He makes his players believe in themselves. They've come out and dominated the flow of this game ever since that man, Shaquille O'Neal, went to the bench, which what I think was a poor substitution midway through the first half.
Greg Graham made the first one. That is Dale Brown's grandson, Christopher. A 12-point lead for Indiana. This is the largest lead enjoyed by the Hoosiers. And they are a minute away from a trip to Albuquerque. Anderson the miss. O'Neal with 36 points. 12 rebounds. And 5 blocked shots.
Now the number 5, Justin Anderson, second personal, who can line up.
And those numbers you just heard for Shaquille O'Neal add up to Chevrolet Player of the Game honors.
Okay, so Indiana headed for a tournament matchup with Florida State for the 2nd straight year. In the meantime, let's go to the Midwest, where Georgia Tech now has a 4-point lead.
Boyd. For Indiana, our Chevrolet Player of the Game is Calvert Chaney with 28 points, 7 for 7 from the line and 10 of 18 from the floor. Alan Henderson also had a strong game with 19 points and 6 rebounds. 29 for Chaney. And that's a season high 30 points for Chaney. He had 29 during the Big Ten season at Iowa. Indiana with its largest lead, 13 points. It's away from a date with Florida State in the Sweet 16 in Albuquerque. While we have a moment, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our NCAA representatives, Gary Cunningham of Fresno State and Joe McGinnis. That's a 3 for Harold Boudreau. Our regional director here in Boise, Boise State Athletic Director Gene Blameyer, and regional manager Herb Kreiner. Max Corbett, a terrific job here as the media coordinator. We'd also like to thank the sports information directors of all 8 schools who played here in Boise for their cooperation. Indiana knows the road to the Final Four. They've traveled the road.
Okay, let's get to the finish quickly now in Milwaukee. Rodney Chapman just hit a shot with 2 seconds to go. Tech in a timeout.